We are live.
Bang. Monty, I like the the sunny days.
Yeah, John, it's spring,
Behind
Bitcoin's
you.
above 60K. I'm in a good mood today. Birds are chirping. It's going to be a good week, I think. So let's get into it, guys. I'm excited about this week. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, in particular, that Coinbase IPO. We were talking last week about how big that's going to be. And, I think it'll wake up some people. Now, obviously, the real cryptopreneurs out there are probably already very, very aware of every little nugget that drops out of Coinbase as far as this IPO. But I think a lot of other guys and gals might be sort of shocked to see how big this thing's going to be. And it certainly seems to have lifted a lot of the cryptocurrencies, tokens, utilities, everything higher. It's hard to find ones that are down right now. And Bitcoin holding over 60,400 and seemingly pretty strong at that level.
Yeah, John, I think, we've been talking a while about kind of how Bitcoin, and I think the whole space is teetering on the brink of exploding to the upside. And I think the Coinbase listing this week is really going to be a catalyst that can drive prices higher, not just for Bitcoin, not just for Coinbase's stock, but for, the entire crypto market in general. So I'm really excited to see it. It's never a bad thing when crypto is all over the news. And I expect it to be just absolutely dominating the news for the next couple of weeks. And, I think that's going to lead to a lot of retail speculation. This is a pay week. People get paid this week. I think they're going to be seeing a lot of the returns from the past month. And, like I said, with Coinbase in the news, I think now is a good time to anticipate a lot of retail speculation. So I'm excited to see how this week plays out. And I think Bitcoin is really looking postured for a nice move. CJ, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting because some have kind of hypothesized that this Coinbase IPO may cannibalize into Bitcoin's profits. People who would normally be trading volume in Bitcoin are kind of saving that capital, setting it aside to trade the Coinbase IPO. I don't really know if that's the case. I'm largely in agreement with you, Monty, that this is just very good for the space overall, and it will likely continue to draw in a lot of interest, especially if we get a ton of volume on this IPO. But it's truly going to be a historic week for the cryptocurrency market.
Well, you remember, was it Friday, guys, that we were talking about Binance Coin, BNB, and you guys had both talked about it, repeatedly. I made it a Doge of the day. The darn thing did indeed break out on Friday from that. We said if it can break above 48 and 50, well, it did, and it went all the way to 64. So, that's a pretty darn big move out of Binance Coin. It's pulled back some, but it still looks pretty darn good, I think. And I'm just stunned at how big the moves are. I mean, this is not a small coin, and yet it's, when it makes a 22% jump in just a couple of days, that's pretty noteworthy.
I think there's something very special about Binance Coin and BNB. Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. I think it's absolutely tremendous what them and Voyager and FTX and many others have been able to do and how they've grown in such a short period of time. But I think one of the catalysts for this increase in price with Binance is the fact that they have now launched zero commission tradable stock tokens. Now, the only one that they're going to be listing as of today is going to be a tokenized stock version of Tesla. So that's really interesting. And I think it's one step further in the combination between traditional equity brokerages and crypto exchanges and crypto brokerages. But just to give you a little bit more information, the Binance stock tokens are zero commission digital tokens, fully backed by a depository portfolio of underlying securities that represent the outstanding tokens. Holders of stock tokens qualify for economic returns of the underlying shares, including potential dividends. The tokens will also trade in normal stock hours. So although Tesla stock is tokenized on Binance now, you still have to trade it in the normal market hours. But overall, not a shock to see Binance and BNB up on this news. But like I said, this is truly a historic week for cryptocurrency.
Well, question to both of you, since you just spoke, CJ, I'll throw it to Monty first. Monty, what do you think as far as with the big IPO this week of Coinbase? Is it buy rumors, sell news? Forget about that stock, but let's look at cryptos. Is the focus and attention on all these cryptos just until we get the IPO? CJ mentioned, and you did, that maybe people pull some money back from their crypto trading and go over into stocks. And maybe that's true. We'll have to see. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying now you've got the baby being born. We always say, buy rumors, sell news. When I'm not saying that, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Doge even have to break down significantly, but does the surge stop pretty much in line with when the Coinbase IPO hits? Maybe at the end of that day, I'm thinking that it's going to mark a high for the week, at least for many of these cryptos. What do you think, Monty?
Yeah, John, I actually don't think this is an instance of kind of buy the rumor, sell the news. I think that this could be a more sustained uptrend for the whole market. I think this is really interesting. And if you take both of these news stories into consideration, the Coinbase listing, Binance listing stocks, I think now more than ever, we're kind of starting to see that overlap between crypto traders and retail equity traders. And I think ultimately that's going to be great for the space. I think if people see the Coinbase listing performing well, people see people making money off that trade, we might get a lot of those Wall Street bets apes entering the crypto space and buying Bitcoin as kind of indirect exposure to Coinbase. I think, why would you buy the Coinbase listing if you weren't a believer in crypto in general? I think the timing of the listing is good for Coinbase and is also good for Bitcoin. We've been talking a lot about this ascending triangle formation here, and it's looking set to break out to the upside. That in conjunction with the fact that the most open interest per strike for the end of this month is at 80K. I think we're set to really see some strong price action for the second half of this month. And because of that, I don't think that we're going to pull back later in this week after the listing. I think we're going to keep moving to the upside.
How about you, CJ? Same thing?
Yeah, no, I do agree with Monty, and I also do agree with you, John, that that may mark the high of the week. But in a sense, we've just been consolidating and we haven't really broken out. There hasn't been an enormous lead up in anticipation. We've kind of just been hovering anywhere between 58 to 60K. So if that does create a catalyst, I think we're just going to see future bullish price action for the remainder of the month. But in the short term, I could definitely see that marking, a short-term high for the week. But we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting.
Well, and we've already detailed for you guys the idea that Goldman and Morgan and PayPal and Visa have certainly contributed mightily to the upside moves that we've seen in crypto in general. And as always, cryptos tend to take the lead sometimes away from Bitcoin, but overall Bitcoin tends to be, that is the dog that wags the tail, not the tail that wags the dog. It's not that they look at Doge or Litecoin or Ethereum and they say, oh, we should buy it because, those are all up, we should buy Bitcoin. They buy Bitcoin and then the rest of them kind of lift along with it. And every once in a while you see a breakout. I'm seeing a lot. I'll have to grab that visual for you guys tomorrow of Elon Musk and Gene Simmons of KISS and the Doge dog driving the train. But somebody put that out this weekend and it was woo, woo, because they're all saying, that it's going to hit 10 now, that it's broken above and moving back towards the highs that it put in recently. I've got a lot of it. I'd love them to be right. I know Monty says Gene has like 6 figures in it or something like that in Doge. Who knows? we'll keep our eyes on it. Who wants
Yeah.
to kick off a Doge of the day today, guys?
CJ, I know you had a couple interesting ones, so I'm curious to hear what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I want to compare two different charts and the assets on those charts. The first one on the left that you're looking at is Elron. That's going to be EGLD. That one is a very large volume play. We had a massive surge in volume last night and are continuing to increase in price. So I'm going to be following that one. As you'll notice, it kind of created that little cup pattern and broke above its previous high. I see Algo, and just full disclosure, I do hold Algo currently. I like that one a lot as well because it also has seen some nice volume increases and it's kind of forming a tentative inverse head and shoulders. But as you can see, I do expect price to sustain that upward sloping trend line and potentially make it go at new all-time highs by the end of the month. So Elron and Algo are ones I've definitely talked about before, but I do like them, especially today with Elron having a lot of volume.
Yeah, CJ, and if you circle back to them, that just means that you must really like them. So don't mind that you're talking about the same ones more than once. That's all good. I will quickly throw out my Doge of the day. And I think we'd be remiss not to quickly mention our sponsor's native token, VGX. Full disclosure, I do hold VGX. But I think what they've been doing is kind of tremendously impressive. You know, I think this is one that could potentially really benefit from the Coinbase listing this week. And, you know, we talk a lot about the upcoming token merger, the Voyager loyalty program. And CJ shared some really interesting metrics with me last night. You know, whales are really accumulating VGX on Voyager more so than any other asset. And there's a limited circulating supply. So if you're trying to get to that 500 tokens for the Explorer level, there is not that much token left. Based on some analysis I've seen on Twitter, basically less than 3,500 accounts in total would be able to hold over 500 VGX if none of the whales sell their tokens. So, you know, I think that in combination with the Coinbase listing, with I think the technicals are strong as well. I think it really kind of put in a new bottom at 3.88. And that in combination with the fact that I think a lot of people are going to be onboarded to kind of retail trading apps as Bitcoin is really dominating the headlines this next week, I think VGX is really positioned nicely to perform very well for the next couple of weeks. So that is my Doge of the day.
Speaking of whales, Monty, metric here, the largest 12 VGX holders make up 82% of the outstanding circulating supply. So definitely a asset held by whales there.
I'm going to throw a Doge of the day, guys. I'm going to go back to Pancake Swap, symbol cake, cake by the ocean. If you guys remember that song from this summer, I don't know what the hell that was about. Cake by the ocean. I don't understand what the hell that means, but cake, C-A-K-E. I like this line right at about 24 that seems to be some good support. After it broke above that back on Sunday, it ran all the way from there to about 2750, pulls back, and now it's back at about 2550-ish. I think another move to the upside is in the offing, and I think the volume is continuing to build right now. So cake is my Doge of the day.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, exciting week ahead of us, guys. I'm really excited to do these episodes this week in particular. I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about. So yeah, any closing thoughts to leave our audience with before we sign off?
Like I say, the until we actually get to the Coinbase IPO itself, I think the momentum is on the side of the bulls in these cryptos. And then I'm not saying it ends, but I'm saying that I would not be surprised to see some of the jumps slow down. How about that? After the Coinbase IPO, because it's brought so much attention to them, not undeserved, but I think maybe than people, just hodl for a while or flip over to USD or Tether and then wait to see what the next move is.
Yeah, we shall see.
You shall see. And with that, I think that's all we got for you guys today. So if you'd like what we talked about, you can come hang out with CJ and I for just $1 for the first month. Link is right below me, markrebellion.com/try crypto. It's a pro charting service, community of really intelligent traders that share some insights with you guys. And also CJ and I share some actionable insights directly. And like I said, just $1 for the first month. So go check it out. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.